Look at that cheese pull. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another cooking episode. Today we're gonna make some baked ziti. I got some Italian sausage, some fresh mozzarella, and we're gonna make a good sauce to go with it. It's gonna be delicious, the melty cheese. What a comfort meal. I love it. Let's get going. All right, you're gonna start by heating up your pot. I use a cast iron enameled pan for this. I like it, they hold heat better, but you can use a normal stainless steel if you like. All right, now that your pan's all heated up, you're gonna add some olive oil to the bottom of the pan. You don't need to add a lot. There's a good amount of fat in the sausage. I like to break it up by hand. So I just add little chunks. I kind of want good bite-sized pieces in there. Pan's nice and hot. All right, you're gonna get that all in there, you're gonna cook it down, you're gonna get it nice and brown, and then we're gonna remove it from the pan. And then we're gonna saute our garlic and get our sauce built. Ooh, sausage is looking good. Yeah, see all these little brown bits? I love that. That's good flavor. You can break up some of the bigger chunks. I like to, but I still want some good bite-sized pieces in there. You're gonna remove, take a slotted spoon or a bowl. Remove that sausage. Now that you got the sausage out, we're gonna take some extra virgin olive oil. Just add a little more oil, not too much, but I like a good amount of olive oil in my sauce. Take your garlic, just dump that right in there. It's gonna be hot, so you just wanna saute it for a second. You wanna make sure it doesn't burn. It's gonna be real quick, about a minute. Using a little like single serving of wine. These help. You don't have to open a whole bottle unless you want to drink wine. I just use this. It's a nice, perfect little serving. So after about 1 minute, you're gonna add your wine and you're gonna deglaze the pan and cook off the alcohol with it. Let that cook down for a little bit. Reduce it by about a third. And then once that's ready, you're gonna add your tomatoes. Cooking down nicely, just garlic, oil, and wine, and it smells so good already. Oh yeah. All right, now that the wine is reduced just a little bit, we're gonna add our 2 big cans of crushed tomatoes. Try not to make too much of a mess. 1 small can of tomato sauce. Now stir that all together. I like to add a little bit of veggie broth. Deepens the flavor a little bit and helps loosen up the sauce for cooking. So I want it to cook for a while. About half the carton should do. Stir that in. Get it up to a nice light simmer, then just let it go. It'll cook, and while that's cooking, after about an hour, hour and a half, then we will start to prep the noodles and the cheese and get everything ready for the baked ziti. Now that your sauce has come up to a boil, you're gonna take your sausage, you're gonna add that right back into the pot. Looks great. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I start with about a tablespoon. You can salt later, so never add too much in the beginning. This is going to cook down. So you're gonna wait a while to taste it. All right, that's pretty much the sauce right there. You'll add some basil when it's close to done cooking, but that's about it. It's pretty simple. It's tomatoes, sausage, garlic, white wine, olive oil, and that's it. I mean, it's a simple sauce. It's pretty easy to make. You just gotta give it time. So while that's cooking, you can relax for a little bit, watch a movie, watch some TV, play a video game, do whatever you do. But you can let this chill. You're gonna give it a light simmer, let it go, uncovered. So it reduces just a little bit. You wanna keep it kinda thin, thinner than you would normally. Some of that sauce is gonna soak into the noodles when it bakes, so you do want some moisture in there. So now that it's boiling, we're gonna drop the heat on a nice medium low and just let it cook. That's it. And now that the sauce has been cooking for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, you're gonna get your water starting to boil. I'm gonna turn that on. High heat, get your water to boil, and while that's going, we're gonna prep all the cheese and get the rest of everything ready. cheeses already. I like to cube some up and shred it. We'll use it for different things. Cubes will get mixed into the pasta and the sauce, and the shredded will be for the top. As you see, the sauce is starting to come together. In the meantime, I'm gonna chop up a little basil, throw it in this sauce. I'm gonna check the flavor, and then we're gonna come back to it. Cheese. All right, now we got our basil cut up. Just gonna add it to the sauce here. Give a little extra flavor. Continue to let that cook. Give it a little taste now. I think that's pretty good. The sausage has enough flavor and salt in it that it doesn't need to be too salty. Be enough in the cheese as well. So I'll let that sauce do it. We're gonna get the water up to boil. Once that's ready, dump the noodles in, and then we can build this thing. Now that the water's boiling, we're gonna give it salt. Water heavily, salt your boiling water. I'm using kosher salt. We said 11 to 13 minutes. You're not gonna cook it all the way, so we're gonna give it about 9 minutes. Pour the whole bag in. Give it a stir and set your timer for 9 minutes. All right, while the pasta's cooking, we're gonna start building the sauce with the cheese, the ricotta, a little bit of the sauce. We're gonna mix it together, get it kind of blended before we dump the cooked pasta in. At this point, you can turn your sauce off. Give it a nice stir and just let it rest for a minute while the pasta's cooking. And now we can start to build our sauce. You're going to take one 15-ounce container of whole milk ricotta and add it to your bowl. I like to break it up a little bit. Now you're going to ladle in a couple ladles of the sauce. Let's go with 3. Work that together. One more in there. Take some of the whole milk mozzarella, some of the harder mozz. Mix that in as well. Perfect. Now you just gotta wait for your pasta to boil. Add your pasta to that bowl, mix it all up, and then we're gonna put it in a baking dish. All right, the pasta is al dente, or just before. You're gonna pull it early. It's gonna finish cooking in the pot. So take it and strain it. Now that you've drained your pasta, you're gonna pour that directly into your bowl. You're gonna stir this up good and nice. And now we build. Because I got a little mister with olive oil in here. First thing we're gonna do, take a little bit of sauce, and we're gonna put it in the bottom there. Now we're gonna put our noodles on top. We're gonna do this in layers. Get it in there, one nice layer. Come back with some of your extra cheese. Just a little bit. Also have a grated parmesan. Put a nice little layer of that. A little more sauce. Now the rest of the noodles. Spread that out to get a nice even layer. Rest of your cheese goes in. And then you drop a little bit. Make sure it's a nice spread in there. This gets you nice big ooey gooey cheesy bites. Another layer of the Parmesan. And a little more sauce. Followed by some of the shredded. I like to hit it with a little olive oil on top. Some of them nice crusty, crunchy cheese bites. And that's built. You're gonna take this, you're gonna throw it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes until it's nice and bubbly and ready to go. Directly onto the center rack. I have some foil underneath. It'll help catch any of the drippings, although it's not too overflowed, so it should be fine. And that's it. You leave it in there for about 40 minutes till it's done. Voila, baked ziti. Let it check. Ooh, bubbling, looking good. About another 20 minutes. That looks amazing. The bubbly, the crispy bits, the brown cheese. Gotta let it cool down. Once the bubbles stop, let it chill out for a good 15 minutes, set up, and then we'll dive in and we'll make a plate. I'm excited. All right, this has been resting and setting up for about 10-15 minutes. Here we go, baked ziti. Oh, look at that cheese pull. Let's get us a fork here. All right. Oh, yeah. That is how it is done. Wow, look at that cheese. Just gooey cheese. Well, that's how you make baked ziti, people. Try this one at home. It is so good. Oh, look at all that cheese. Well, I'm gonna go eat this. Enjoy the rest of my day. Hope you guys enjoyed cooking again. It's always fun. Rock on. Peace.